Do you love the lively bubbles in Prosecco and Champagne? And are you ready to learn about the next level of sparkling wine? Red sparkling wine? Today, I'm talking about Lambrusco, but more specifically, a special type of Lambrusco that is not common to find. Hi there, I'm Jacqueline for Vero, where we go around the world sourcing hard-to-find and delicious wines from small producers. And sometimes these wines are off the beaten track of what is expected. And that is why today we are looking at Pet Nat Lambrusco. All right, to basics. Lambrusco. It's a dry red sparkling wine from Italy, and it is normally made from a blending of several different sub-varieties of the Lambrusco grape. Normally, the bubbles come from the Charmat method of sparkling wine production, the one that makes Prosecco, with fermentation and bubbles being created in pressurized tanks. In the past, it has received a bad rap thanks to high quantity and low quality producers. But there is a new wave of Lambrusco producers fighting back against the stereotype and making fabulous passion-crafted Lambruscos. And one way to do this is how Frignano does it, using the ancestral method. Also called Pét-Nat or Pétillant natural, this is likely how sparkling wine was once made way back when. We've made a whole video about that before, I'll link it in the description below, but let's recap quickly. Wine with residual sugar or unfermented must is placed into bottles, still with the yeasts mixed in, and sealed. As the yeast continue to eat the sugars, they produce CO2 trapped in the bottle, and this creates the bubbles. However, unlike other sparkling wines, ancestral method wines are not reopened or filtered. They are left bottled on the lees. This means they can continue to evolve and change as time goes on. And now, it's time to meet the mix of these two things. Scurone from Frignano. Scurone is special because while being made in a Pet Nat or ancestral method, it is still utilizing the local indigenous grapes of Grasparosa and Malbo Gentile. Of course, as we learned in our previous videos about the winery Frignano and the women behind it, we know that woman winemaker Irene Balam treasures her adopted homeland and strives to transmit the land through her wines. And what better way to accomplish this than with her natural and organic farming methods and a natural winemaking style, including techniques like native yeast fermentation and no filtering. Letting her grapes speak for themselves, it seems like a logical progression that this woman in wine would want to make her Lambrusco in an ancestral method style, just how people hundreds of years ago would have made this red sparkling wine that would come to be known as Lambrusco. All right, so remember how Lambrusco can be made with a blend of different varieties? In Scurone, Irene plays with the blend of two varieties in particular, Grasparosa and about 15% of Malbo Gentile. It's a fun blend that mixes the hyper-traditional Grasparosa grape with the hyper-local Malbo Gentile grape. And this blend has practical reasons too. Lambrusco Grasparosa makes a deep-colored Lambrusco wine, known for body and tannins. And Malbo Gentile, while being similar as it's also dark and tannic, has a fruitiness that softens the rough edges of the Grasparosa. And overall, it brings out in Scurone rich blackberry flavors. And all of this is balanced with grippier tannins than your typical Lambrusco. And that, mixed with the lively bubbles, gives an amazing sensation and texture with every sip. Knowing as well that Irene at Frignano works with native yeast fermentation and that this wine has been fermented, aged, and bottled on those native yeasts, it is an amazing opportunity to taste a real local Lambrusco as they used to make it. And to boot, with a low alcohol at only around 11.5%, it can make a great, interesting social sipper or even a wine to mix up your brunch or weeknight get-together. All right, are you ready to taste? You can head over to the Vero shop at verovino.com. I'll have the link in the description below, and check out Scurone to buy a bottle for yourself. Thanks for joining me today. If you learned something, leave a like and I'll see you with the next video. Bye.